Hello, namaste. Well, today I am feeling a little less rushy and a lot more paying attention to like myself, if that makes sense. So I realized this is such a cute photo. I'm not gonna show it to you, but it's two monkeys who are cleaning each other. The one's being cleaned by the other one. It's adorable. It's beautiful. Moving forward. So I started recognizing certain triggers in myself when I am just existing, if that makes sense. So there's a part of me that I ignored for such a long time. And the trigger that I ignored, I ended up turning it into a weapon against myself. I looked at it and I ignored it for so long and was like, oh yeah, this is a problem. But instead of me taking the time to actually pay attention to the trigger, get to know it, slow down, and figure out what it's trying to tell me, I sat there and was like, oh no. It's bad. It's this bad thing. And I convinced myself that I was this bad narrative because of the fact that I would not slow down and look at this trigger for what it was. So I find myself today thinking, well, you should have looked at it a little closer. Like 2.5 years ago when it first showed its face. And I don't know if you believe in the manifestation stuff that everybody's doing now. I do. I do. And let me tell you something. When you have yourself believing a narrative that's not true about yourself, other people around you may start to believe it as well. So it's it'll show up in the most minute ways. So instead of you allowing the narrative to continue, this is a call to action, which is to slow down and allow yourself to face that trigger, no matter what it is. How do I recommend doing this? Well, there's a 3-step process, I believe. Everybody has a 3-step process, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try this one. First off, acknowledge the fact that it's there. If you are someone who is consistently dismissing the fact that you have triggers or lying to yourself and saying that they don't exist, that's not going to be helpful to you. Now, I'm telling you experience based entirely and purely off of what I myself have experienced. I'm not telling you based off of books that I've read, even though I'm reading books, and I just don't want to give you something that's a little half-aced. So, acknowledge it. Step 1. Step 2, pause. Because in this pause, you're going to notice yourself wanting to go down the same road that you normally take. Sometimes you might take the normal road. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's also possible for you to turn the fuck around, okay? We're not driving on a highway ramp, and some people still turn around out the motherfuckers too, okay? Put it in reverse, bag your ass up, and get out of there, right? And instead choose the opposite direction, which is, okay, that's not right. let me slow down and figure out where I'm going or where this trigger is taking me. 9 times out of 10, you know exactly what that trigger is. You know exactly what that trigger is trying to tell you. But you wanted to appear stronger than what you really were and lied to yourself. So because you decided to lie to yourself, you told yourself a narrative that was just not true. So now we are here trying to get you in reverse from the direction in which you led yourself down. And one thing is, it's never an issue to turn around. The issue is if you continue allowing yourself to follow this road that you know is not true for you. And then I'm imagining Forrest Gump and then gaining followers and traction to this route that you know is not real. It's a lie you keep telling yourself. Step 3 is to rewrite it. Okay, we're gonna go back down this road. Step 1 was to acknowledge. So you saw it. Dang, I feel that feeling again. Here we go with this shit. Okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna pause right now. Instead of responding that way that I normally respond, I'm gonna look at that motherfucker and I'm gonna actually realize what it is. What is it saying to me? It's saying, I don't like this feeling. This could be my inner child coming up saying, this is reminding me of something that happened before in the past. Not my inner child saying, yeah, I'm a monster too. No. I'm not that. So I'm going to go ahead and bag my ass up. Okay? I'm going to relax. I'm pausing here. I'm noticing my trigger. I'm noticing what it's telling me. And now instead of responding in the way that I typically respond, I'm going to rewrite this. I am no longer the bad guy here. Instead, this trigger, me rewriting, step 3. Step 3. This trigger is a call for help. It's a call for me to acknowledge myself as who I am truly, instead of what lies I told myself and what lies other people told me about myself. That's it. That's the process. Now, will you take the time yourself to actually get out of this narrative? That's up to you, baby. Nobody, not me, not your grandma, not your dad, not your brother, not your best friend. None of us can tell you who you are or how to stop yourself from going down a path that you no longer need to take. I get it. It's easy to sit there and then to get comfortable doing something uncomfortable for you. But that's not what we're doing anymore. Remember, there's a version of you that's over there in the corner like, you can do it. Oh my God. You can do it. And then there's a version of you like, no, you're dumb for even thinking you could do this. Why would you even try to do something like that? Don't listen to that one. That one doesn't know you like I know you. That's the time when you start asking yourself your triggers, different parts of you. Do you know me like I know myself? Because I know full well I'm not that bad guy I keep telling myself that I am. I will never be. And if I was, I would have jumped off of something a while ago. I should probably put like a trigger warning. But like for real, stop allowing yourself to feed into the false narratives. That's the whole thing. That's literally it. Because the more you feed into false narratives that you consistently tell yourself, follow the road of the triggers, the easier it will be for you to follow the road and the false narratives that other people lay out in front of you. You might be one of those rare people who are capable of, seeing the bullshwanky that other people are putting out before you and being like, nah, bruh, I'm not about to do that. Okay? But you still may have an issue or a hard time going down the roads or rewriting the story within yourself. But yeah, that's it. That's my spiel. I have to remind you one more time, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you this stuff based off of things that I studied or went to school for. I'm a criminal justice major. I had a couple psychology classes that did happen. I graduated. I got my degree, my papers. But no, I'm giving you my experience. The worst part about all of this is that when your experience stops becoming valid, it's a problem. It's like this is the time period. Thank you, Granny. This is the time period where it seems like there are a lot of people who are just full of shit. If you consider back in like the 1700s, the BC times, I'm going in different time zones. I see that. But there were people before us, many generations prior, who told stories about their own experience, who experienced some shit. Shit, the early 1900s. There are people who actually went through some things. There are us in this time period, in this generation, who are actually going through some things. How do you think they gain these experiences? By sharing their voice and sharing their story. And where did a lot of the education come from? A lot of the things that we follow nowadays, where did that come from? From someone else's experience. Traditions that we have. I say all this to say, you have an experience that somebody else is gonna look at and think, oh my gosh, you made it out of that? I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out to save my life. Or that version of me, I couldn't figure it out, so I just let it go. One day you're gonna say something to someone that's gonna spark their mind and be like, holy crap, thank you for understanding me. And somebody's gonna want to teach somebody what you know. So, until then, good luck. I'll see you back here next time during one of my spiels.